gamers, this is Liz Davidson from Beyond Solitaire, and I play a lot of solo games, including a lot of solo war games. So I'm happy to announce that you're watching No Enemies Here, Wargaming News.
GMT's got a couple of games out. Here we go! Command & Colors Medieval. This is a game designed by Richard Borg, and what you get in this game is one medieval core rulebook and 19 medieval battle scenarios, a 22 by 29.5 inch mounted battlefield game board, 4 counter sheets, 65 medieval command cards, 8 laser printed battle dice, 2 unit reference cards, 5 block label sheets, get ready to get sticky, and 350 plus blocks. Complexity is medium and solitaire suitability is low. Fields of Fire 2. Fields of Fire is a solitaire game system that gives players the challenge of commanding a rifle company between World War II and the present day. And what comes with this game is an action deck of 55 cards plus 3 terrain decks of 55 cards, a rule booklet, campaign briefing booklet, extended example of play booklet, a company log pad, 1 8x5x11 command asset holding display, 1 8x5x11 command track, an 8x5x11 aircraft control card, another 8x5x11 player 8 card, action menu front, a trifold player 8 card, 1 8x5x11 enemy activity card, 5 sheets of large counters and markers, and yeah, lots of stuff. The Last 100 Yards, designed by Mike Dennison. I love that cover. And what you get with this game are 6 double-sided geomorphic cardstock maps, a rulebook, a playbook, 4 counter sheets, 4 mission cards, 2 combat terrain cards, 2 identical player reference cards, 1 game turn track, and 4 10-sided dice. The company that gave us a box and a lid, Compass Games. No Peace Without Spain, the War of the Spanish Succession, 1702 to 1713, a game designed by Don Herndon. What you get with this game is one 22 by 34 inch mounted map, a rule and scenario booklet, 2 player 8 cards, a card deck of 55 playing cards, 1 sheet of counters, 10 6-sided dice, and oh yeah, a box and a lid. Decision Games in an onslaught of 4 new releases. These are the mini-series games, the first one being Heroes of Telemark, Commando Raids in Norway, 1942 to 1943. This is a solitaire game, and you get one 11 by 17 inch map, 40 die-cut counters, 18 campaign cards, and a 4-page rulebook. Lawrence of Arabia, The Arab Revolt, 1917 to 1918. This is a solitaire game, and you get one 11 by 17 inch map, 40 die-cut counters, 18 campaign cards, and a 4-page rulebook. Khartoum, Sudan, 1883 to 1885. This is a 2-player game, and you get one 11 by 17 inch map, 40 die-cut counters, and 18 campaign cards, and a 4-page rulebook. You think they have a system? Campaigns of Montrose, A Year of Living Dangerously, 1644 to 1645. This is a 2-player game, and the game contents are cut and paste, one 11 by 17 inch map, 40 die-cut counters, 18 campaign cards, and an 8-page rulebook. Ooh, things are different here. Hollenspiel, The dream team of Fred Manzo and Herman Lutman, plus the art by Will Alambre. Well, I made a little video about it. Check it. For all the musicians out there who, and the prog rockers who like prog music, I did that music, right? And the intro, there is a complex sequence of time signatures. Now, can anybody figure those time signatures out before it gets into a very solid 4/4? Please, let me know. And I love to say this, comment in the comments below. They're not here now, but they're gonna be when I edit it and whatever. The magic of editing. Tiny Battle Publishing and Herman Lutman's The Devil's to Pay, the first day at Gettysburg. This is actually Tiny Battle Publishing's first boxed game. You know Mark of Tiny Battle Publishing, the owner and publisher. He says this box comes with, this game comes with, basically you want to say a box and a lid, but the guy's an artist, he's inventive. So I'm gonna read exactly how he describes the box and a lid. So he says, The Devil's to Pay comes in a nice 6x9 inch telescoping, in parentheses, top slides over bottom, like every other game on your shelf, box. I think that's beautiful. Thanks, Mark. The Devil's to Pay, a game by Herman Lutman, is a game depicting not only the events of the first day at Gettysburg, but also what could have happened on that fateful day. The Devil's to Pay is a 2-player game, and it contains one 17 by 22 inch map. Not just a map, but a map drawn, hand-drawn, by Rick Barber. 176 counters, 3-player 8 cards, 3 6-sided dice, 1 full-color rulebook, and a box and a lid. This is for Rob Moffat. You want to know what's happening on the big board, Rob? I'll tell you what's happening on the big board. Rob, you know what Kevin's doing? He's reading the alphabet. The CEO is checking out the Granicus 334 BC historical notes and articles from Ancient War magazine. Kevin's also checking out GD40 4 of 4 for all you Euro gamers checking out my channel. That's Gross Deutschland 1940. It's a war game. He's also checking out Tiny Battle magazines and Flying Pig Games magazine. Yeah, issue number 12 with the game MacArthur's Defeat. And because this guy's got nothing to do in life but play games, here's another video. It's The Table Battles by Hollenspiel, the Alexander expansion. So Rob, that's what's happening on the big board. Grant and Alexander of the Player's Aid are reviewing Command and Colors Napoleonics from GMT. Alexander is also unboxing Victory World War II 2nd Edition by Columbia Games. Also, Alexander talks about the Gen Con 2019 Insurgency in Indianapolis Wargame event. Mo of Mo's Game Table is previewing Yeah Magazine from Tiny Battle Publishing and Flying Pig Games, issue number 12, with MacArthur's Defeat. Mo's also taking a look inside the Dark Valley Deluxe Edition from GMT, designed by Ted Racer. GIMPY of the Gimpy Gamer has a couple of videos out on his boot camp on the Nations at War Core Rule Set Volume 3 by Lock and Load Publishing, and also a U-Boot review through Part 2, published by Phalanx Games. BLASTPOP reviews and gives you his commentary on the game Napoleon against Russia, designed by Kevin Zucker, published by Operational Studies Group. Cody of the Discriminating Gamer is giving you Cody's Top 10 Game Designers. Bart, the chief of Bonding with Board Games, is unboxing Combat Commander Mediterranean and the expansion Sea Lion and a Tournament Pack. The system is designed by Chad Jensen, published by... You ever wonder where Bart is? I know where he is. Here's a picture. Well, he's in Scotland. He was invited by some Scottish distillery, and he sent me a picture. He's at the Bunnahabhain distillery, probably one of my favorite single malts. And then they provided him with a Scotch Tets dummy car, and he's just traveling the coast, going from one distillery to the other. Man, life is tough. Jeff McAleer of the Gaming Gang has a couple of videos out. One of them, he takes a look at The Last 100 Yards by Mike Dennison, and also Command and Colors Medieval, a game designed by Richard Borg, both published by GMT. MAURO FAINA has a couple of Johnny Zero podcasts out. One of them, episode 50, on card-driven wargames. MAURO also has a video out on the San Marino Convention 2019 in Italy, and this video is about the non-wargamer interview. GMT also has a video out, a setup with Scott Mansfield of Gandhi, the Decolonization of British India, a game designed by Bruce Mansfield. This is coin number 9. The soft-spoken but formidable foe, Jonathan Townsend, is having a solitaire ASL chat. And Charles Cab of the Charlotte Area Historical Gaming, that we haven't seen in a long time, has an unboxing video of Command and Colors Medieval, published by GMT, designed by Richard Borg. Counterattack is doing a Mitchell Land game published by GMT, Next War Poland, The Suwalki Gap, Turn 1, Part 1. The man famously known as Calandale, Enrico Viglino, is taking a look at Against the Odds magazine game, Guerra a Muerte. Hey, use this code to get 25% off DVG's website. It's an auto you. Use it. The War Game Reviewer has an interview with Volko Ronke. This is a past BelotACon con that just passed. Volko Ronke, War Game Reviewer. It's an interview. The strongman of wargaming, Rob Oren of Rob's Tabletop World, takes a look at Yeah Magazine issue number 12. Lock and Load Publishing has Gimpy Gamer doing Nations at War Boot Camp Artillery. Well, I got some news. It's different news. Herman Lutman emailed me, because I'm friends with Herman, not you. But anyways, Herman Lutman emailed me, not you, and he said, Dan, I've got I've got Dawn of the Zeds 3rd edition with probably all the expansions, and he wants to give it away. So he said he's gonna call his good buddy Dan, me, not you, and he says, I know, I'll give it to you and you do something with it. Well, I'm gonna do a giveaway, and it's gonna be a signed personal copy by Herman Lutman to whomever wins this. Now, I gotta figure something out, so keep watching the show and I'll figure something out.
Hey guys, Dave from the Centurions Review, the punk rock band of war game review institutions. This week on our website we'll be reviewing Escape from Colditz from Osprey Games. It's a republish of an old game about POWs trying to escape from a World War II POW camp. This week on our website we'll be doing a first look at Dragon Pass from Avalon Hill. It's an old fantasy war game with a very rich background and storyline. The background world it takes place in is Gloranthium, which has also been used, I believe, in RuneQuest, the role-playing game, and in a bunch of novels from Chaosium. Hope to see you guys on our website soon, and hope to see you guys on our YouTube channel. Have a good evening.
Hi, I'm Gregory M. Smith, and Dan asked me to do a short segment called From Head to Table, which sounds a little distressing, but I'll roll with it. I want to talk about a newly released game of mine called Zeppelin Raider. And so, how did this come about? Well, I met a guy when I was working on Silent Victory by the name of Captain Paul O'Grady, Royal Australian Navy, of all things. And he said, you know what? You need to take the Hunters, that game system, and apply it to Zeppelins. And I was like, I didn't know much about Zeppelins, so I was like, okay, I'll look into it. Well, sure enough, I got this book, The Zeppelin in Combat by Douglas Robinson. Awesome. I mean, it's got operational history, very readable, but personal anecdotes, tables, charts, detailed information. It's essentially the Bible for this topic. And so the more I read, I was like, wow, this would be awesome. So that's how kind of the project got started, and I started working on it. The interesting thing to me was, you're not flying submarines around in the sky. These are very fragile aircraft, not to mention the fact they're flammable. So I had to account for all that in the game. And it became very clear early on that this game really needed to focus around lift. And the lift of the airship, is really the key consideration and one of the key things that the player has to manage. You vent hydrogen, which is your lifting agent, out of your gas cells. You're going to descend. You drop your water ballast, you're going to rise. Of course, if you get shot full of holes from an aircraft fire, you're going to descend as well. So, you've got emergency jettison, you're also burning fuel, and the fuel is weight. And so anything that, as you burn fuel, you'll actually rise as well. And then there's dynamic lift also from the engines running and sort of a lifting body to a small degree. But you have to take all those things into account, and it's actually pretty interesting. It's a different cat. I mean, a different kind of beast here. You're fighting your unreliable. I mean, this is 1914 through 1918. You're fighting your own unreliable engines and the weather, probably, and the wind, as much as you are fighting the enemy. So it's kind of interesting for that viewpoint. But the player really has to pay a lot of attention to his ballast and his weight and his lift management. You don't need a degree in aeronautics to play the game. It's reasonably playable, just like most of my games are. I'd like to think so. But it was really neat, and so it's very different. It turned out I love the art. The artist Olivier Revenu from France just gave it a real period feel, and love what he did with that. And here's a little example of why do we need artists. Well, here's my rough draft, what we call the dress-up doll, or where you keep track of your awards. And here's what the artist comes back with. Okay, slightly nicer. Here's my X-Class Zeppelin. This is my rough prototype. And the artist says, hey, I can do better than that. And he did. So really happy with, and for example, log sheet and then the nice log sheet. So yes, this is why we need artists, especially for those of us who aren't artists. But to me, a game really is a failure if it doesn't teach you a little history along the way. And so I really try to put a lot of historical research into it. 8 different types of Zeppelins, all researched as far as their capabilities and what machine guns they carried, if any, lifeboats and what have you, and how many bombs they could drop. But I was really happy with this one, and it turned out pretty neat. And just to wrap up the segment, I thought I'd display, or at least let you know, I think up these crazy, I have all these crazy ideas, and Compass is nice enough to me to agree to do most of them. But some of the games I have coming out, another World War I game, Western Front Ace. Interceptor Ace is being worked on right now. These are 2 sequels to the Night Fighter Ace system. This one's a little off the track. America Bomber, Evil Queen of the Skies. So it's kind of like B-17 in reverse. The time is 1947. It's alternate history. If you can pan over, you see also have The Hunted is coming out through GMT shortly. And Beneath the Med as well. That finally hit its P500 track. And I'm still in the design stages of Sensuikon, which is a Japanese version of the Hunters. But that'll probably do it for now. Welcome to my man cave, and thanks for spending time. Talk to you later.
I've got the game here. Not the game you're gonna get. The game you're gonna get is a personalized copy. I don't even have that. But anyways, here's the quiz. Once Herman came to Montreal, and we met and we went to a restaurant. What type of food did we eat? Like, we went to what type of restaurant? Chinese, Italian, Finnish, Madagascarian. You know what I'm saying? So what I'm gonna do is I'll probably get a few people that are gonna give me the right answer a few times, and that is one name, one nationality. Don't give me all the nationalities in the world and expect me to you went, nah, you went. One shot deal. You give me I don't know, Chinese food or Madagascarian food. That's it. So I'm probably gonna get multiple people who guess it. I'm gonna wait a week, tally up all these people, and randomly just pick a name, and the next show, I'll announce the winner. C'est tout. Three moves ahead and episode 469. Imperator, Rome. Rob, TJ, and John are not quite sure what to make of Imperator, Rome, the latest historical grand strategy game from Paradox Development Studio. Another show, another week. Thank you for watching, and a shout out to my 2 new sponsors, Dennis Heinen and Thomas Marks. Think of becoming a sponsor, and I'll see you next week.